You can't deny house music, man. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what style of music you like. That loop, that loop, that loop, that loop, that loop, that loop. You like music, you like house. You just haven't realized it yet. You like music, you like house. You like music, you like house. You like music, you like house. You like music, you like house.
Hail Mary. This should work. OBS output, go to the mic. Okay, now we're back. Oh, Hail Mary. This should
Wow.
work.
That
That was a mess. I genuinely have no idea what's going on. Okay, now we're back. All right, so now we got all of our audio back, music's back. Now you can actually hear me talk. So let me talk about and catch you up to speed with what I was doing. I was sitting here talking to myself, and I actually have my iPad kind of behind me. I have no idea what's going on. And I'm monitoring the stream, and I was getting like nothing from it. I was really confused. All right, so now we got all of our audio back. Obviously, right? You should be able to hear me. So I tested this last night, working off my phone. For whatever reason, it just wasn't working. But first time doing like an IRL type stream, so you know, it is what it is. It's kind of expected. And I'm monitoring the stream, and I was getting like nothing from it. I was really confused. Lesson learned. Obviously, troubleshoot this stuff before the stream. I tested this last night. All right, so let me kind of walk you through what I was thinking here. Let's come IRL type stream and start over, I guess. So we'll make the table out of plywood. I need to make a router table because a lot of the work I've been doing involves some kind of routing. And routing is just to kind of like clean up the edges of all the woodwork for those who are kind of uninitiated. Let me kind of walk you through what I was talking about with this piece of 2x4 earlier was I've never used a miter gauge to actually put like mitered edges on something, so we can use the miter gauge here to actually put like 30 degree, 45 degree, just different angles on the actual wood when we attach it to the plywood base. I think I'm gonna go for a miter gauge to actually. We can do 30. I think we can always increase the bevel, so we can increase the angle, no problem. But I don't think we'll be able to decrease the angle. Another thing that I think I want to consider here, maybe doing is I think I'm gonna go for with my table saw. Let's see if we can get it in frame. So my table saw over here, I can always open this up, and I can pull this out. And this actually makes things really nice. So I can have, maybe over here, the router can sit down here, and we can adjust it from there. So if I need to put it down a bit, we can. So that gives us a little bit of extra room to play with as far as how deep we can make it. The other thing was this base plate. So this goes on the router. And the question I had, maybe over here. Let's see if we're in frame here. My question was if I have this router on, I have this plate on. So we're gonna mount this base permanently. I have a really fancy plunge base to use for all my other routing activities. So this goes on the router. This one would be mounted almost permanently there. So I have this router on. So we're gonna mount. Do I have a smaller piece of plywood lying around? Scrap. Really fancy plunge. The answer is no. This is the smallest piece we got. Routing activities. So if we are mounted flush, and this is all the way up against it, mounted almost permanently there. Can we? Questionable. We can access this, but we can't hit this button, which is a little bit of a problem because that actually halts and holds everything. This is the smallest piece we got. Routing activities. So if we are mounted flush, and this is all the way up against it, can we? Questionable. We can access this, but we can't hit this button, which is that's kind of a wrench in the plan there. Because if we want to unscrew this and take and change the bit, we need to be able to access this button. And I don't want to have to release the router to change the bit every time. However, realistically, I don't think I'm going to be using a lot. That's kind of a wrench. There is no notebook check tomorrow, bro. Stop scaring people. We need to be able to access this. He's spreading misinformation. Chat. I don't want to have to release the router to change the bit every time. Yeah, no notebook check tomorrow. However, realistically, I don't think I'm going to be using. So I think that's the plan I'm going to go for. I think I'm going to start with 30 degrees on those, and then we'll move up from there. So let me get some. He's spreading misinformation. Wires routed out. Over here. because I do want to get my dust collection set up. I don't think we're going to be using MDF. They're not a huge worry on fine dust. I think I'm going to start with. I also don't have my dust extractor yet, so dust is going to be a huge issue. It shouldn't be too problematic. Over here, because I do want to get my dust collection set up. I don't think we're going to be using MDF. They're not a huge worry on fine dust. I think I'm going to start with. I also don't have my dust extractor yet, so one thing we will need to do later on, though, actually, problematic. Probably worthwhile try and do that now. So we need to actually get some hose set up. Get the hose. We need to hook up on the back end of this table saw. Actually, this tubing for some dust extraction. Probably worthwhile try and do that now. So this helps to pull the dust out. So we need to actually and keep things clean. Get some. So before we proceed, let's actually go ahead and we need to pull the saw out and see if we can get that attached to the table saw. So this tubing for cleaning up. Probably worthwhile try and do that now. So this helps to pull the dust just a little bit, just enough so we can close the table. Get some. And so we can pull the saw out. So I actually made this bench a couple days ago. Let's see if we can get that attached to the table saw. Cleaning up. Oh, I like this bench because it's flat, it's super sturdy, and we've got some casters here, which we can. So I actually think I'm going to try and maybe put something else on these, or have them sit together a little bit more. But those lock down. Oh, I like this bench because and I can swivel one side. It's flat, it's super and gain access over here on the back. So, let's see if I can bring you guys over here. Maybe put something else on these, or have them sit together a little bit more. But so it's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get you guys in there. But they're down here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little port there. That's where the dust comes out of. The dust collection gets hooked up to. So let's see if we can bring you guys over here. Let's bring you guys down here with me. Well, we kind of try. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can get you guys in there, but. They're down here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little port there. That's where the dust comes out of. The dust collection gets hooked up to. So let's see. This one can run over here. This. Let's bring you guys down here with me. We need to get that in there. I don't know if it will fit or not. They're down here. Looks like not quite in that configuration. So. This one can run over here. This. Let's bring you guys down here with me. We need to get that in there. I don't know. Let's see. Problem solving at its finest right here. Looks like. Note to self. Not quite. Next stream, we're gonna need to figure out a way to. This one can run over here. Set this up. I want to fully extend this out because it does take up a lot of space. I don't know. Let's see. Problem solving at its finest right here. Note to self. Next stream, we're gonna need to figure out a way to. That will have to do for now. And then I'll fully extend this out because see if we can reorganize everything over here. I don't know. Let's see. Problem solving at its finest right here. Note to self. Next week, we're gonna need to figure out a way to. That will have to do for now. And then I'll fully extend this out because see if we can reorganize everything over here. Let's see. Problem solving at its finest right here. Note to self. Next week, we're gonna need to figure out a way to. That will have to do for now. Fully extend this out because see if we can reorganize everything. Move things over. chilly in here. Yeah, bro. Look in your garage. It's only 40 degrees. It's over. It's content. Content is content. You already know. Oop. Chilly in here. Note to self. Yeah, bro. Look in your garage. It's only 40 degrees. It's over. It's content. Alright. Content is content. Can we get this whole thing out? We can. So let's take some of these clamps off. And woodworking, sometimes you need to be really accurate sometimes. Well, accuracy is never really a thing you're looking for in woodworking. It's all about precision. Remember, accuracy is being truthful to your measurement and your cut, but precision is about repeatability. And woodworking, when you see people who are putting these things together, sometimes you need to be really accurate sometimes. Well, contact, pressure fit, friction fit stuff. It's all about precision. Remember, accuracy is being truthful to what you want. Cut, but precision is about building a router table. Woodworking, when you see people who are putting these things together, it's not about having a really good pressure fit, friction fit stuff. Measurement, being accurate to the measurement. It's more about being able to repeat those cuts and then appropriately apply them as necessary. So we're building a router table. Woodworking, when you see people who let's start with the legs. I think we'll start with the legs. It's not about having I don't want to try and get too cute with it. I don't want to be messing with too much as far as, you know, adding skills on goes. Appropriately apply them as necessary. So like I had mentioned before, generally in woodworking, one thing that we do a lot, I don't want that people recommend. I wouldn't say we do a lot. Your boy's an amateur. He's kind of bad, but one of the things that everyone says to do or recommends to do is every time you do a new build, you want to, like I had mentioned, incorporate some kind of new skill or something you haven't tried before. Generally in woodworking, and I think that's awesome advice. We do a lot. So you also don't want to get too cute with it. So one of the things I want to try doing was bevel cuts and friction fitting on like edges and adding not mortars and tenons, but I want to add, you know, little chamfers that these things sit into. But I feel like that might be a little bit too much. I've never done bevel cuts on wood, and A, I have to make them all the same, and B, I want to try doing they need to be at the right angle. So I'm expecting a lot of mistakes are going to happen right now. You know, little chamfers that sit into. So we're just going to kind of go for it and see what happens. Cuts on wood, and A, I have to make them all the same, and B, got that hooked up. One more thing, they need to actually need to be at the right angle. So I'm expecting a lot of mistakes are going to happen right now. You know, little chamfers that lighting's not so we're just going to kind of go for it and get our little work lamp down. Plug this guy in. One more thing, get our power strip plugged in down here. I'm expecting a lot of mistakes are going to happen. Forgive the mess in the garage. Whole lot of stuff in here. Lighting's not so we're just gonna kind of and we'll get our saw plugged in, work lamp down, and in. Okay, clear off this work surface. So plugged in down here. I'm expecting a lot of mistakes. Forgive the mess. Let's come down to this work surface here. Whole lot and what our goal is, and we'll get our saw plugged in. Work lamp down. So we're going to try and I guess start by making these all the same length. So let's come down to this work surface here. Where our miter gauge is going to come in. We're going to set a set depth. And we're just going to make a couple of 2x4s that are all the same length. So we got some here to play with. And I guess now I'm not too concerned about the quality of the wood. So I am much more concerned where our miter gauge is going to come in. We're going to set with how the actual product looks. And we're just needs to be, again, precise. A couple of 2x4s that to itself. All the same length. So we got some here to play with. Now I'm not too concerned about the quality of the wood. So I am much more concerned where our miter gauge is going to come in. We're going to set with how the actual product looks. And we're just needs to be, again, precise. A couple of 2x4s that to itself. All the same length. So we got let's see what we can do. Okay, so realistically, right, we should have a better plan, better idea of what we're about to cut, but as long as everything's the same, realistically, it should be fine, right? Technically, it should be fine. So let's see. This piece is really blown out. I'm not huge on that using that one. Better idea. We have some really good, but 2x4 here to use, so I think we'll just kind of skip using that one for now. Technically, it's a dirty table. So, this piece is. I think we'll focus on using. I'm not huge on that using that one. Our miter gauge to make this really good. So, 2x4 here to use, so I think we'll just kind of skip using that one for now. Move this guy over. Technically, it's a dirty table. So, this piece is. I think we don't want to get our blade stuck there. So, at 30 degrees, I don't feel like doing trig here, but I probably want this thing to be sitting about 6 inches off. It's actually off the table. Move this guy. You can actually get a measurement. So if we're gonna put it in this little kind of cubby over here, then we don't want to get our blade stuck there. So I think 6 inches would be fine. But I probably want. We might want to consider off the table, 8 or 9 inches. Get a measurement. So where put it in maybe this little kind of. I think that's a better idea. So let's go then. And let's actually measure that out here. So I think we'll go with 10 because we are planning on doing some funny stuff here. So grab 8 or 9 inches. Speed square. So let's see. We're gonna go. So let's go. Then put this on your side so you guys can see it. But I think we're gonna go 10 inches, and then we'll kind of cut those out. I think we'll go with 10 because we are planning on. Here's our 10-inch mark. So here's a cool thing: is there's 10 and pencil down. That gets the pencil. So let's go straight line. Put this on your side so you guys can see it. But pretty sick. We're gonna go 10 inches, and then so that's 10. I'm going to butt this up against the saw. There's 10 and pencil down. I forgot to. That gets the pencil. Take these wheels down. Straight line. Put this on your side so you guys can see it. Let's go around the corner. Pretty sick. We're gonna go 10 inches, and then so that's 10. I'm going to all the way through Narnia up against the saw. Let's get to the back of the saw. Take it off the wheels, and now we're nice and sturdy. We're not sliding around. Go around the corner. That would be unsafe. So that's 10. I'm going to all the way through Narnia against the saw. Let's take our saw. Take it off the wheels, and now we're raise it up until we are. Go around the corner. That would be unsafe. Just above the length of. Let's take our saw board. I'll give it another turn beyond that, so we got that nice raise it up right there. And then let's get our board here squared up. So, well, the gauge here is square. It's nice and square. I'll tighten everything down. Let's take our saw board. We'll take this guy here. I'll give another. And we're going to slide him over. That nice raise it up right there. And then let's get our board here to right about where we want it. So So right there, the gauge here is square. It's nice and square. I'll tighten everything down. Put that there. We'll take this guy here. Tighten down. Make sure everything here is tight. Don't want something coming loose during the cut. And be right about where we want it. So right there. Almost forgot. I'll tighten everything down. Put that there. Hook up our hose over here. Tighten down. Make sure everything here is dust collection runs. Don't want something coming loose during the cut. And so that's the stop back running. Get our mask on. Almost forgot. Pick up our hose over here. Our saw. And let's make some cuts. Stop back running. Get our mask on. So we got that, and before I do anything weird here with the saw, so we can tilt it, we can do other things with it, but before I do any of that stuff, I think I want to take this piece here. So I want to take this, kind of want to square it up. So we got that, and before I do anything weird here with the saw, for the most part, it's already pretty squared out. Before I do any of that stuff, but I think I want to take this piece here. It's not quite square enough, so I want to take this. Let's take this out. Square it up. So we got that, and before I do anything weird here with the saw, for the most part, it's already pretty squared out. Before I do any of that stuff, but I think I want to take this piece here. It's not quite get the miter gauge out. So I'm gonna bring that guy back in just a little bit here. This out. But that's pretty square over there, but not quite square enough over here. So let's bring this back here and get the miter gauge out. I'm gonna bring that guy back in just a little bit here. This out. But that's pretty square over there, just not a little bit here. So we're gonna cut that piece back off here and get the miter gauge out. That'll be real good. Just a little bit here. But that's pretty square back just a little bit here. So we're gonna cut that piece back off Trash piece there. So let's see. We got our base. I don't know if I want to quite actually square this up any much more than it already is. So that's
Trash
nice
piece there.
and square now. Is it bowed? Doesn't look like it. Feels like it. So let's see. We got our base. I don't know if I want to quite actually square this up any much more than it already is.
At least that food.
So that's
Trash
nice
piece there.
and square now. Is it bowed? Doesn't look like it. Feels like it. So let's see. We got. Fuck it, we ball. Base.
Seems fine.
I want to quite actually square this up any much
Yeah,
more
whatever,
than
it's
it
fine.
already is.
At least that.
So that's nice and
I
square.
don't think it's that bad. Is it?
Is it bowed? Doesn't look like it. Feels like it. Let's see. We got. Fuck it, we ball.
Seems fine. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, whatever.
At least that. I don't think it's that bad. I feel like it might be crazy though. It looks fine, and when it's not up against the fence, it feels fine. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
For our purposes, that's flat enough.
I don't think it's that bad. I feel like it might be crazy though. It looks fine, and when it's not up against the fence,
It'll do.
It feels fine.
It'll do.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Okay, so
For our
now we got to
purposes,
create
it's
some
flat.
legs for this base.
I don't think it's that bad. I feel like it might
So like I was saying, I want to try something new. So that something new involves,
fine.
like I said, getting a little cute with it and
Feels fine.
it'll do. Using our miter gauge here. Actually using it. So let's. Okay, so now we got to create some legs for this base. Take our miter slot to 30 degrees. So this will open up the base.
Something new.
So that's something new. And make things really, really sturdy for us here.
Like
so,
I
said, getting a little cute with it and using our miter gauge here. Actually,
It looks like that should be
okay. So now we got to create some
near
legs for this
perfect.
base. Take our miter slot to 30 degrees. So
Like I
this
was
will
saying,
open
I
up the
wanna try
base.
something
So that's something new. And make things really, really.
We do need to raise our blade up a whole bunch. It looks like that should be
Okay, so now we gotta create some
near
legs for this
perfect.
base. Take our miter slot to 30 degrees. So this will open up the base. So
The part that sketches me out.
something new. And make things really, really.
We do need to raise our blade up a whole bunch.
It looks like that should be
How much further can I extend this blade? This seems incredibly unsafe.
How
tall is it? That's not quite enough to cut the 2x4.
out.
Interesting. So we have to cut it and then
Do need to raise our blade up.
flip it the other way around? I don't like that. The other way would be to tilt the blade. How much further can I extend this blade? This seems incredibly unsafe. This might be, I mean, the more reasonable and safe option there. Never done
and then miter cut like that. So let's
I don't like that.
or not.
The other way would
New
be to
table
tilt the
soft
blade.
function unlocked. Let's try do some miter cuts with
Incredibly unsafe.
this guy.
Might be, I mean, the more reasonable and safe option there.
Pop this out. Never done. We're gonna miter cut like that.
Push the blade
So
over
let's
to 30 degrees.
or not.
The other way would
New
be to
table
tilt the
soft
blade.
function unlocked. Let's
Move it over.
try do some miter cuts with this guy.
Might be, I mean, the more reasonable and safe option there.
Pop this out. Never done. We're gonna miter cut like that.
Push the blade over.
Chat, you would not believe the deal I got on this saw.
Or not. The other way would
New
be
table
to
soft
tilt the
function unlocked.
blade. Move it over.
It's honestly like high key, super nice.
This guy.
Facebook Marketplace, $100. This guy was moving. He was trying to GTFO from El Paso, and bro,
You would not believe the
bro
deal I
gave
got on
me
this saw.
a nutty deal.
It's
People be like, bro,
super nice.
you are like Facebook Marketplace obsessed. To which I say,
This guy was
Yeah.
moving. He was trying
Yeah,
to
you're right.
GTFO from El Paso,
and bro,
you would not believe.
legitimately,
Bro gave me
I wake up, like my
nutty
process. I'm not even joking. Wake up, Facebook
people be
Marketplace,
like,
bro. I lowball at
You are
least
like
3
Facebook
people.
Marketplace obsessed.
At least 3
Which
people
I
every
say,
single day.
This guy was
Yeah.
moving. He was trying
Yeah,
to
you're right.
GTFO from El Paso.
If you aren't lowballing people on Facebook Marketplace, you're not doing
Legitimately.
it right. It's just
I
the
wake
truth.
up,
It is what it is.
Like my
Say what you
process,
want,
I'm
but
not even
it's the
joking.
truth. If you're not lowballing
Wake
people
up,
on Facebook Marketplace, you're not getting a good deal.
Bro,
I lowball at least 3
Facebook
people.
Marketplace obsessed.
Chat, you
At
want
least
a
3 people
super
every single day.
unethical life hack?
Yeah. You're right.
Go on Facebook Marketplace,
If you
find
are
something that's
lowballing
already
people on
posted
Facebook Marketplace,
really,
you're
really
not doing
low,
it
below
right. It's
market
just the
value,
truth. It is what it
and
is.
look for a post
Say
that
what you want,
says,
but
need
it's
the
truth.
money.
If you're not lowballing
Wake
people on
up.
Facebook
If
Marketplace,
in
you're
the
not getting a
post
good
they
deal.
say, I need the money for any reason, like
Chat,
daughter's
you
in the
want a
hospital,
super
grandma got
unethical life
sick,
hack?
something like that.
Go on
Dude,
Facebook
lowball the
Marketplace.
living
If you
shit
find
out of
something
them.
that's already posted
How
really,
bad do
really
you
low
need that
below
money?
market value, and look for a post that says, need
Again,
the money.
unethical, 100% unethical.
If
But you are
in
going to
the
get a
post they
nutty,
say,
nutty
I
deal.
need the money for any reason, like
Daughter's in the hospital,
super
grandma got sick,
something like that.
lowball the living. How bad do you need that money? Again, unethical, 100%. I did not like that. I did not like that. That's why I wanted to miter it standing up.
I did not like
But saw blade isn't big enough?
That
It should be a
was-
10-inch saw. Well,
I did not like that.
I guess. Okay, well, this might take a little bit extra time because I have to avoid getting, absolutely murdered by a piece of wood.
That's why I wanted to
So
miter
that
it
means kind
standing
of
up.
hard stopping the saw every single
did not
time.
like
But saw blade isn't big enough?
That
It should be a
was-
10-inch saw. It looks like that was a really, really good cut though. Like we almost
not
had
like
almost
guess. Okay,
zero
well-
zero waste. This might take a little bit extra time because I have to avoid
That was
getting,
really good, though. Let's
absolutely
see.
murdered by a piece of wood.
That's grab.
So that means kind of hard stopping the saw every single time. But saw blade isn't big
A little
enough.
bit of cleanup on these edges.
It looks like that was a really, really good cut though. Like we almost had almost zero waste. This might take a little bit extra time because I have to avoid
That was
getting,
really good, though. Let's
absolutely murdered by a
Honestly,
piece of
that's not
wood.
too bad.
Nice little 30-degree bevel. So we need to do that. We need to do an opposite cut here. So we need these to be,
A little bit of cleanup on these edges.
I guess, the same. So if we
Really, really good cut though. Like we almost had
took this
almost zero
and do
This might take a little bit extra
face down, it should give us,
That was really good.
and not quite identical.
Honestly,
Okay,
it's
so
not
we're gonna need to run all these and then push it over a
30-degree
tiny
bevel. So we
bit,
need to do that. We need to do
and then
an
run them
opposite
again.
cut here.
So we need these to be,
A little bit of cleanup on these edges.
I guess, the same. So if we
Dust collection one.
I have no idea what the best way to do this is. I feel like I should probably have the miter gauge on the opposite side, and that way I have these scrap pieces on the underside of the blade. That sounds like the reasonable thing that I should be doing. So. I feel like I should probably have the miter gauge on the opposite side. Makes way more sense, especially because my saw tilts well the way it does. Scrap pieces. So let's move out of the way. Underside of the blade. For the second batch of miters, let's clean these up first. So a little bit of a. That sounds like the reasonable thing. A little bit of block sanding. I feel like I should probably have the miter gauge on the opposite side. Makes way more sense, especially because my saw tilts well the way it does. A bit of block sanding. So let's move out of the underside of the blade. For the second batch of miters, let's clean these up first. So clean these up. That one's already cleaned up. First one, a bit of block sanding. One more. Makes way more sense, especially because my saw tilts well the way it does. On that side, even though we're about to cut it again anyway. So there we go. We got a couple of these, all with third-degree cuts. So now we need to clean these up. Take this, cleaned up. First one, and move it over here. And we need to take our fence here. On that side, even though we're about to cut it again anyway. So I feel like this is supposed to be the other way. A couple of these, all with third-degree cuts. So now we need to, with that, clean these up. Take this.
That's in the way.
First one, and move it over here. And we need to take our fence here. That side, even though we're about to cut it again anyway. So I feel like this is supposed to be the other way. A couple of these, all with third-degree cuts. So now we need to, with that, clean these up. Shout out to T-Slot Aluminum. That's what my... Oh, this actually does go on. This does have a designated top side. And we need to take out here. Okay, well, I don't want to die, but I don't really have anything in the way of options as far as solving this one particular issue I'm having, which is concerning. Shout out to T-Slot Aluminum. That's what my... Oh, this actually does go on. This does have a designated top side. Okay, well, I don't want to die, but I don't really have anything in the way of options as far as solving this one particular issue. I don't see any reason I can't run it like that, which is concerning. That's what my... Oh, this actually does go on. This does have a designated top side. Okay, well, I don't want to die, but I don't really have anything in the way of options as far as solving this one. I don't see any reason I can't run it like that, which is concerning. That's what my... Oh, this actually does go on. Okay. Yeah, I can't do that. Wow. Okay, well, I don't want to die, but I don't really have anything in the way of options as far as... An attempt was made, so I guess we're just gonna have to thug it out and not die, which very suboptimal, but it is what it is, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I can't do that. Wow. I guess this can double as a review of the Harbor Freight miter gauge. Does it miter gauge? Thug it out. As we just saw. Hell yeah, it does. Very suboptimal, man. And now maybe it's just like a thing with my saw personally. I don't know if they all tilt this way or if some tilt the other way. I guess this can double as a review of I don't know the best way to do that. I wanted to miter it. Does it miter gauge standing up? As we just saw. Hell yeah, it does. Very suboptimal. That's not happening. And now maybe it's just like a thing with my saw personally. Not the way that this was intended to be used, I guess. Or if they tilt the other way. I guess this can double as a review of, like maybe there is a way for me to set this one upside down. I'm just not seeing it. Miter gauge standing up. As we just saw. Hell yeah, it does. So this needs to bevel like this. Cool. So that's not how it's gonna go. Now maybe it's just like a thing with I want this corner to sit. This was intended to be used, I guess. Right at the edge here. Right there. Like maybe there is a way for me to set this one upside down. I'm just not docked right up against it. Standing up.
This,
Look at it. Not taking out too much out of that corner. Once again, I am pretty concerned about things flying back at me here. Right there.
Like maybe there is a way for me to.
The other option is I could use
right up against it.
the other fence, but I don't really have a good amount of support on the backside to do that.
Once again, I am pretty concerned.
I don't know that I want to risk it.
Things flying back at me here.
I feel this is plenty sturdy. I do need to oil up my
The other option
surface
is
for
I
sure.
could use
And probably put some grease inside
other
that miter
fence.
slot, but I think it's plenty
don't
fine
really have a good
where
amount
it
of
is.
support on the backside to do that. Once again, I am pretty concerned.
I don't know that I want to risk it.
Things flying back.
So I think we'll give it a send here.
I feel this is plenty sturdy. I do need to oil up my.
One.
I could use some grease inside that miter. I think it's plenty fine.
That's what I don't like. That one fully shot back at me. That is very, very not ideal. See, that saw, that was already done cutting. That's why I moved away from that. I was done cutting. I moved away from that, and that thing got absolutely sent. That was an absolute missile.
See, that saw.
That's why
That was
I stayed
already
off
done
to the
cutting.
side. You never want to be kind of right there. Before anyone complains about my lack of a riving knife,
That's why I moved
I'm
away
aware.
from that. I was done.
simply
cutting.
do
I
not
moved
have
away
one.
from that. And that
Sue me.
thing got absolutely sent. That was.
So Chance, let's clean up these edges.
That saw.
That's why
That was
I stayed
already
off
done
to the
cutting.
side. You never want to be kind of right there. Before anyone complains about
So
my lack
this
of
is
a riving
actually-
knife,
That's why I moved
I'm
away
aware.
from that. I was done.
simply
cutting.
do
I
not
moved
have
away
one.
from that.
my like
Sue me. That thing got
third
absolutely
attempt
sent. That was
at
so Chance, let's,
some
take
kind of
these edges.
routing surface.
That's
So
why
I had a routing surface,
you never want to be kind of right there.
a router, if you
So
will,
this is actually
that I had kind of on a plate, and that plate
simply do not have from that.
my like
Sue me. That thing got
was kind of like an inlay into my table, but I had a really underpowered router.
I had a
And,
routing surface.
You know, no dig to the Ryobi router.
This is actually
That I had. It works perfectly fine for what it is. My main concern was that even with a 4 amp hour battery,
kind of like
you could run that thing for maybe,
really underpowered router.
like literally, maybe you're getting like 4 minutes before battery's fully drained. So I don't know if it's a battery thing on my end or if it's
It works perfectly fine.
Something else, but
For what it is. My
that's
main
not
concern was that
quite
even
optimal
with
for
a 4 amp hour
what
battery.
we want.
You could run that thing for
Take a second, grab a shot back in.
literally, maybe you're getting like 4 minutes before batteries.
A little bit of cleaning up here.
The battery's thing on my end, or if it works perfectly fine.
Something else, but
for what it is. My
that's
main
not
concern was that
quite
even
optimal
with
for
a 4 amp hour battery.
what we want.
You could run that thing for
Take a second, grab a shot back in.
literally, maybe you're getting like 4 minutes before batteries.
A little bit of cleaning up here.
The battery's thing on my end, or if it works perfectly fine.
So,
Something else, but for what it is.
a little bit of cleanup done there. Let's take a look at what we got. So, these should, in theory, right? You set these up flat on the surface. Oh, so, oh baby. A little bit of cleanup done there. Let's take a look at what we got. So, these
That
should
put me the Hall of Fame.
I did a thing, right? Okay, so now we have our legs. Legs are really good. Not fully sold on the leg design and how I want to set it up. I'm thinking 2 like this and then 2 on the back out that way. But I don't know if I'm fully sold on that idea. Let's take a look at what we got. So, these
That put me the
should...
Hall of Fame.
I did a thing, right? Okay, so now we have our legs. Legs are really good. So let's
sold on the leg design and how I want to
let's
set it up.
let's think about that. So we got our legs done. Legs are done. They're really, really good. They're really, really precise with each other. They're accurate to each other. So if that's done, that's awesome. Let's kind of get to this because this is what I'm super unsure about. We got a lot of things to do here. We're already about an hour in, and honestly, I'm still not quite sure exactly what my plan is. If I'm being completely honest with it. If that's done, that's awesome. Let's reset our saw here, so let's go back to 0 here because this is what I'm super unsure about. We got a lot of things to do here. We're already about an hour in, and honestly, I'm still not quite sure exactly what my plan is. If I'm being honest with it. If that's done, that's awesome. Let's reset our saw. Hold up, chat. Let's go back. Need a flashlight. 0 here because this is what I'm super unsure about. We got a lot of things to do here. We're already about an hour in, and honestly, I'm still not quite sure exactly what my plan is. If I'm being honest with it. Dude, shout out. So, Ryobi, need a flashlight. I'm definitely trying to move out of their system of power tools. Ooh, that's clean. Damn. Damn, Shotty. That's clean. So I want to move out of the Ryobi system of power tools. There's nothing in the way there, actually. However, dude, shout out. So Ryobi, I'm not like I'm definitely trying to move out of their system of power tools. I'm moving out. They have too many damn tools for too many damn tests. They have like every niche tool under the sun. So I want to move out of the Ryobi system of power tools. There's nothing in the way there, actually. Goddamn flashlight. However, dude, shout out. So Ryobi, straight up just a flashlight. I'm not like I'm definitely trying to move out of their system of power tools. I'm moving out. They have too many damn tools. Bro has a flashlight and his lighting's bad, bro. You're watching a woodworking stream under the sun. Oh come on. So I want to move out of the come on, bro. Like, oh come on. Goddamn flashlight. However, dude, shout out. So Ryobi, straight up just a flashlight. I'm not like I'm definitely trying to move out of their system of power tools. Man, that got jammed in there. There's a flashlight and his lighting's bad, bro. Watch our woodworking stream under the sun. Got a drill. Oh come on. And some bits here. Oh come on. Actually, I need to go find my. Man, that got jammed in there. Spade bits. Where is the spade bit? Spade bit box is up here. And some bits here. So here. Actually, I need to go find it's horribly disorganized in this box, but it's fine. I had spade bits in here. Man, that got jammed. Spade bits. Here we go. Where is the spade bit? So, spade bit box. Here's a spade bit. We're gonna need to use that for sure, and then route out an opening in this table.
Once again, but it's fine. Super unsure of what the goal is here. So let's start by finding center on the board. I think that's a good starting point, and then we can drill that hole out. So once we have that done, that gives us a really good place to continue from. Super unsure of what the goal is here. So let's start by finding center on the board. I think that's a good starting point. Shouldn't be needing drill that hole out. So once we have that done, work on this. That gives us a really good place. Got our work surface here. The goal. This is not long enough. That's what she said. So let's start by finding center on the board. I think that's a good starting point. Shouldn't be needing drill that hole out. So once we have that done, work on this. That gives us a really good place. Again, this is shop furniture. One thing they say about shop furniture, though, is that it doesn't look pretty, but it's got to work real well. So that's what she said. Again, shop tool, shop furniture. Lucky chat. Again, this is shop furniture. One thing they say about shop furniture, though, is that it doesn't look pretty, but it's got to work real well. So close enough to the center hole. That's also what she said. Again, this is shop furniture. One thing it's got to be furniture, though. Center hole marked out. Doesn't even look pretty, but it's got to work. Really shitty ruler, but close enough. Don't gotta be pretty. It gotta be functional. That's also what she said. Let's get this swapped out. Center hole marked out. Really shitty ruler, but shouts to this saw here. We got a little place we can open it up, and I really like that. So I think that's going to be a design element I'm going to purposefully incorporate and use here in my final design for the placement of the router table when I want to use it. This way, this saves me from having to drill into any of my side tables or my outfeed table back here. So I can just kind of set it up here. Little place and use it. And I really like that. So I think I might want to even I'm gonna have it set up so I can use it on this side and take the fence off and use it. For the placement of the router table, I might be able to work over here. I think that's a worthwhile bit to use or to consider here. Fence adds a lot of good stability though, so I think have it set up so I can use it. Keeping the fence on is a really good design. So okay, I have an idea for how I want to set this up. I think that's a worthwhile. It might involve chopping it down a little because this is really wide for what it is. And if I'm gonna set it and use it here and not here, so I think then keeping the fence on is a really good design. So okay, I have an idea for how I want to set this up. Still need to figure out the fence and how I'm gonna use the fence to on the router slide. So I'm not gonna use this one. I already have some fence components made, but realistically, I might actually make here and not here. So on the list of other considerations. Regardless of what we do need to drill this out. So let's start by still need to figure out the getting this on the router slide. So I'm not going to use this one. I already have some fence components made, but realistically, I might actually make here. So on the list of other considerations. Regardless of what we do need to drill this out. So let's start by still need to figure out the getting this. Speed 2. I already have some fence components, but realistically, I might actually other considerations. Let's take a second and regardless of what we do need to drill this out. So let's start by
bit of cleaning uppy. Let's take a second. Tiny bit of cleaning uppy. Cleaning up. Okay, so now we got a hole in the middle. A little bit of blowout, but that's fine. Just a tool. Okay. Tiny bit of cleaning up. Here is the weird part. Okay, so we need to make these two holes match. Blowout, but that's fine. Just a tool. Okay. Because if that's where the router bit is coming through, it needs to be just as large. Okay, so we need to make these two holes match. Blowout, but that's fine. Just a tool. Okay. We want it large enough. That's where the router bit is coming through. It needs to be just as large that we can get nearly any bit through, but not so large that we end up losing a lot of dust. So that's also a consideration on how big we make the hole. So we're just going to go with the standard DeWalt size for the hole. We want it large enough. The router bit is coming through. It needs to be. I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel. And since we have this actually, we can use this. We can get nearly any bit with our router, but not so large that we end up losing a lot of dust. So that's also a consideration. That'll help us match this one for one. So we're just going to go with the standard DeWalt size for the hole. We want it large enough. Now, I'm not going to full disclosure. Try and reinvent the wheel. And since we have, I've never done a pattern routing, and I've never done one with an inside template like this. So we are very much in uncharted territory. Help us match this one for one. And even though I said I'm trying to avoid doing too many new things at once, I don't think this is a particularly difficult skill to try and learn here. I've never done a pattern routing, and I've never done one with an inside template like this. So it should be relatively simple. The only problem would be dialing the depth on the bit. Even though I can't imagine it would be that bad. Once, right? I don't think this is a particularly difficult skill to try and learn here. I've never done a pattern routing, and I've never done one with an inside template. So it should be relatively simple. The only problem would be dialing the depth on the bit. I can't imagine it would be that bad. Once, right? I don't think this is a router. I've never done a router in the sled. It should be relatively clamp it down. Only problem would be dialing the depth and wait to change that bit out. I can't imagine it would be that bad. Once, right? I don't think this is a router. There's the lock. Router in the sled. One turn, 2 turns, lock. Router. There's the lock. There's got to be a better tool for this. In the sled. All right, let's see. What bits do we have? Still like turn. Have some flush trim bits, but I don't think any of them are big enough to actually use on this one. So we got some top bearings. There's got to be a better tool for this. All right, let's see. So we want to use these guys. Bits do we have? Still like turn. Have some flush trim bits, but I don't think any of them are big enough to actually use on this one. So
we got some top bearings. Spare bearings if we need them. Yes. And let's take a look at what we got. So probably not going to be drilling super deep. I have some flush trim bits, but I don't think any of them are big enough to actually use on this one. Maybe we could. Probably don't want to, but we do have a super long one. So probably not going to be drilling super deep. I have some flush trim bits, but I don't think any of them are big enough to actually use on this one. I think we give it a shot. Maybe acquire a new skill, chat. Probably don't want to, but we do have a super long one. So probably not going to be drilling super deep. I think we give it a shot. Acquire a new skill, chat.
So how deep do we need this thing to go?
A super long one. So probably not going to be drilling super deep.
Looks like that's about right, and we can adjust it as necessary. So we're just going to kind of go slowly and open up that hole little by little. So how deep do we need this thing to go? And let's get...
Looks like that's about right.
That
and we can adjust it as necessary. So
we're just going to dust collection set up on that
and open up that hole little by little.
Mask on.
How deep do we need this thing to go? I do think that is one hell of a hole. That's what he said. And if I do say... Okay, so we got our hole. Clean that up later, but I do think...
Bro, why are you laughing?
One hell of a
It's
hole.
not funny. Whole jokes aren't funny.
Bro, that's what he said. I'm like, mentally 5 years old. Okay, so we got our... Here's what I'm gonna do. Can I get a C-clamp in there? Yes, sir. But I do think...
Bro, why are you laughing?
One hell of a
It's
hole.
not funny. Whole jokes aren't funny.
Bro, so with one C-clamp in here, I'm like, I feel like that's pretty good. 5 years old. Let me see if I can get a second. If I can get a second, even better. So let's take all this stuff off. C-clamp in there, yes sir. And then we need to drill our holes here so we can mount it. So we got to drill them and we got to countersink them too. So with one C-clamp in here, gotta make sure that they're, I feel like that they're deep enough. Good. 5 years old. Let me see if I can get a second. If I can get a second, even better. So let's take all this stuff off. Back here. Yes, sir. They were back there. One's on the floor. It fell. Nice. So we can mount it. So we got to drill them and we got to counter. So one more. With one C-clamp. Perfect. I feel like that's a deep enough. Let's get that out of the way. Let me see if I can get a second. Probably unnecessary to use two C-clamps here, but really don't want that to move. We got that perfectly centered right now. Nice. We can get these mounting holes in here. One more. Perfect. Oops. Let's get that out of the way. Probably unnecessary to use
cables.
two C-clamps here.
Be careful with them.
Really don't want that to move.
Keep walkway clear at all
Perfectly
times.
centered right now. That's just for general safety.
You already know.
So let's get a bit here. See what size we need. So I feel like that's pretty good.
Cables.
Bit size.
Be careful with them.
So the question then becomes countersinking and how much countersinking we're going to need to do at all times. That's just for general safety. You already know. So let's get a bit here. See what size we need. So I feel like that's pretty good. Bit size.
Be careful with them.
So the question then becomes countersinking and how much countersinking.
Don't like how much that's waffling.
That's just for
It does not inspire confidence.
So let's get a bit here. See what size we need. I feel like that's pretty good. Bit size. Be careful with them. So the question then becomes countersinking and how much countersinking.
Don't like how much that's waffling. Okay. It does not inspire confidence.
So the question then becomes countersinking and how much countersinking.
Don't like how much that's waffling. Okay.
So we can, at minimum, get these started here.
Inspire confidence.
We might have to open these up with a bigger bit, but so we can, at minimum, get these started here. We might have to open these up with a bigger bit, but it's pretty good. I am much more satisfied with how this is going so far compared to my previous attempts. At minimum, get these started here. We might have to open these up with a bigger bit, but it's pretty good. I am much more satisfied with how this is going so far compared to my previous attempts. At minimum, get these started here. I might have to open these up with a bigger bit, but it's pretty good. So that's good. We can open it up a little bit now. Much more satisfied with how this is going so far. So slightly bigger bit. That's good. We can open it up a little bit now. So far, a slightly bigger bit. All right. Let's check. We can open it up a little bit now. So far, a slightly bigger bit. There were screws. All right. So this is still not quite large enough. Open it up a little bit now. Slightly bigger bit. You go a little bit bigger on the bit size. There were screws. Double check the current size of this one. All right. So this is still not quite large. 64ths. 11/64ths. You go a little bit bigger on the bit size. That was screws. Double check the current size of this one. So this is still not quite right. 64ths. 11/64ths. You go a little bit bigger on the bit size. That was screws. Double check the current. And screw check. This is still not quite right. 64ths. 11/64ths. Oh yeah, there we go. A little bit bigger on the bit size. Next thing, we're going to need to countersink this a pretty hefty amount because these screws. And screw check. These screws do not really poke out very much. Now, I don't know what size threads these actually use. There we go. And depending on the thread size, depends on. Next thing, we're going to need to countersink this a pretty hefty amount because these screws. It's a bit too late to run to Home Depot to kind of sort that out. So, I don't know what size threads these actually use. We're going to need to countersink this. And depending on the thread size, depends on. Next thing, quite a bit options I have. We need some plywood left in the bottom. Now, I could get longer screws, to kind of sort that machine screws, I don't know, which is an option. What size threads these actually at this point, truly, countersink this. Probably one of the best options. Let's see what we have. Quite a bit. We have anything. We need some plywood left in the bottom. Usable or viable. I have no idea what the actual thread size is on this. Screws. Which is an option. At this point, truly, Home Depot's definitely closed. Let's see what we have. Okay. Quite a bit. Here's what I think. We don't finish it because I need to go buy more machine screws. I think that's definitely the play. I need to go buy machine screws that actually fit, that are longer, because I don't want to countersink these a whole bunch. Home Depot's definitely. But we can finish this up later. Okay. Right now, we can for sure. We don't get these attached. I need to go buy more machine screws. I think that's. So let's kind of figure out how we're going to do buy this. Machine screws that are longer because I don't want to countersink. Like the idea of, but we can one back here later. Okay, kind of flush up against this a little bit for sure. We don't get these attached. I need to go buy more machine screws. I think that's. So let's kind of figure out how we're going to do this. Machine screws that are longer. I think just like the idea. Two on each side is fine. So I think we could just go corner here, corner, and call it good. Kind of flush. I'm honestly totally okay with that. I think, simple. Simple is better. As they say, keep it simple, stupid. And what I'm going to do here is I get to play with a new little tool that I have bought. If I can figure out where I put it. A little jig here. This thing, I think, simple
lets me drill holes at
Definitely
different
fast.
angles. So I can
As
drill
they
at a
say,
30-degree angle here
Keep it simple, stupid.
for screws.
And what I'm going to do here is
I get to play with a new little tool that I have bought. So here, where I put it, a little jig here. This how far do I want to go? I want. Lets me drill holes at different angles. So and this is how deep is this? For screws. About. Well, how will I measure this way? I get to play with a new little tool that I have bought. So it's about 1 3/4. So I think if we go from the edge and go about 2/4 in. Let's be drill holes at different angles. 2/4, 3/4. How deep is this? 1 inch in? About. Well, how will I measure this way? I think that makes sense. So 1 3/4. So get an inch. Go from the edge and go about 2/4 in. 2/4, 3/4. How deep is this? 1 inch in? About. Inch scribed on the side, and then we'll hit a 30-degree drill into that. So get an inch from the edge and go about 2/4 in. 2/4, 3/4. Inch scribed on the side, and then we'll hit a 30-degree drill into that. Inch. Inch scribed on quite a pocket jig, but we'll hit a 30-degree drill into that. Similar idea. Quite a pocket jig, but let's do one more on this line. Quite a pocket jig, but let's do one more on this line. So 2 of those are done. Let's do 2 more on this side. Let's do one more on this line. So 2 of those are done. Let's do 1 more here on this side. That has to be the prettiest thing in the world, but it's just got to be good enough. Functional is what we're looking for. Here on this side. Not described. That has to be the prettiest thing in the world, but it's just got to be good enough. Functional is what we're looking for. Please flip it over and use the other side. Probably should though, honestly. Not described. Call an audible. Call an audible, chat. I think you call an audible here. It's just got to be good enough. Functional is what we're looking for. Please flip it over and use the other side. This side looks better, so I think we'll use this side instead. Call an audible. Call an audible, chat. I think you call an audible here. Functional is what we're looking for. Please flip it over and use the other side. This side looks better, so I think we'll use this side instead. I can see some of the metal in the jig starting to wear out. Let's get out of that Chinesium.
I can see some of the metal in the jig starting to wear out. Straight out of that Chinesium. I can see some of the metal in the jig starting to wear out. Straight out of that Chinesium. I gotta work on that one. That's all I got. Also, don't subscribe because, well, broke. I gotta work on that one. God, that clutch shot's so worn. That's all I got. Also, don't subscribe because, well, broke. I gotta work on that one. God, that clutch shot's so worn. That's all I got. Also, don't subscribe because, well, broke. That's all I got. Also, don't subscribe. Let's do these here. And then let's get our legs attached. Get these bits back. We'll throw this on. Let's do these here. Let's see, what kind of screws do we have that should we use? I'm honestly probably just gonna like really drive these in, if I'm being completely honest. Bits back. Throw this on. Let's do these here. If I'm being dead ass, yeah, I think I'm just gonna drive these in super hard, and I'm honestly probably just gonna like really drive these in, if I'm hope it works. Do we have a bit in here? I think I threw it in here. We need a star head bit for these. Right here. I'm being dead ass. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drive these in super hard, and I'm honestly probably just gonna like really drive these in. If I hope it works. Do we have a bit in here? I think I threw it in here. We need a star head bit for these. Right here. I'm being dead ass. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drive these in super hard, and I'm honestly probably just gonna like really drive these in. If I hope it works. Do we have a bit in here? I think I threw it in here. I'm on the wrong side. Star head bit for these. Right here. I'm being dead ass. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drive these in super hard, and I'm honestly probably just gonna like really drive these in. Hope it works. I'm on the wrong side. So I want these legs to be really flush up against this piece, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. Wrong side. So I want these legs to be really flush up against this piece, but if I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. Because I can't really clamp this. So I want these legs to be really flush up against, which is what I probably need to do. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. I mean, can I clamp it? Because I can't really clamp this. Okay, we have to try. Which is what I probably need to do. Okay, well, now I've just given myself reason to get some, like, foot-long clamps, because I got 3-foot clamps and I got 6-inch clamps. I don't have foot-long clamps. So... I can't really clamp this. Okay, we have to try. Which is what I probably need to do. Buy tools as they become a necessity. Reason to get some like foot-long clamps, because I got 3-foot clamps and I got 6-inch clamps. I don't have foot-long clamps. So. Okay, we have to try. Let's buy tools as they become a necessity. Reason to get some like foot-long clamps, because I got 3-foot clamps and I got 6-inch clamps. I don't have foot-long clamps. So. No. But I think I have an idea. No. But I think I have an idea. Okay, that's probably not going to work. No. But I think I have an idea. This is so much harder than I thought it'd be. Okay, that's probably not going to work. I can't use this on that side. Damn. This is a conundrum, to say the least. This is so much harder than I thought it'd be. If I just hold it and say "pretty please," it'll work. Okay, that's probably not going to work. I can't use this on that side. Damn. This is a conundrum, to say the least. So much harder than I thought it'd be. If I just hold it and say "pretty please," it'll work. Okay. Nope. I can't use this on that side. Damn. This is so insane. This is a conundrum, to say the least. So much harder than I thought. If I just hold it and say "pretty please," it'll work. Nope. So insane. This is I cannot believe that. Legitimately just holding it and saying "pretty please" was a viable solution to that. It literally makes like 0 sense, but if it works, it works, man. I cannot believe that. That is legitimately just, I guess, rinse and repeat. And saying "pretty please" was a viable solution to that. It literally makes like 0 sense, but if it works, man. I cannot believe. Hold it in place and say "pretty please." Just I guess rinse and repeat. And saying pretty please was a viable solution to that. It literally makes like 0 sense, but if it works, man. Hold it in place and say pretty please. I guess rinse and repeat. And saying pretty please was a viable solution to that. It literally makes like 0 sense, but if it works, man. Hold it in place and say pretty please. I guess rinse and repeat. Doesn't matter what angle they're at. Should be pretty sturdy. Flat. Doesn't matter what angle they're at. Should be pretty sturdy. Flat. I think for kind of portability storage, I think I'm gonna go with tripod design. Should be pretty sturdy. Flat. I think for kind of portability storage, I think I'm gonna go with tripod design. Oh yeah, that thing is sturdy. And then maybe I might want to add a rudder, maybe on this side over here, and that will act as something I can hit a clamp onto. But this feels insanely sturdy for what it is. That thing is sturdy. And then clamping for sure to the surface. Maybe I might want to add a rudder. Maybe on. We're sitting at about 2 hours here. This side over here. Probably take an angle grinder and kind of that will act level these out. These in the back probably not going to be a huge problem. But this feels insanely sturdy for what it is. That thing is sturdy. And then clamping for sure to the surface. Maybe I might want to add a rudder. Well, we'll see. We're sitting at about 2 hours here. I'm not sure if I want to use it in this configuration or from this side. Probably from this side for sure. Using the back probably not a huge problem. But this feels insanely sturdy for what it is. How would we do this? So I want to cut some slots so I can put the clamps in and I can get the fence going. I'm not sure if I want to use it in this configuration or from this side. I'm not 100% sold on how I'm going to do that yet. Insanely sturdy for what it is. Probably just gonna have to cut 2 slots in here that fit slots so I can put the clamps in and I can get the fence going. The clamps. I'm not sure if I want to use it in this. I could just route those in. I'm not 100% sold on how I'm gonna do that yet. Actually, I think that's actually not too bad. Probably just gonna have to cut 2 slots in here that fit slots so I can put the clamps in. Let's see, the clamps. We need a thinner router bit. I could just for that. I'm not 100% sold on how I'm gonna do that yet. Actually, that's actually swapped in. Probably just gonna have to cut 2 slots in here that fit slots so I can put the clamps in. Let's see. The clamps. We need a thinner router bit. I could just for that. So I don't want something that's like too thin on the router edge. Okay, so these are just variable depth.
We need a thinner
There is. Put that away. Nice. So that one looks like two. Let's grab the other bits here. Too thin on the router edge. Something. Don't need anything to run on, but it needs to be thick enough. Okay, so these are just variable depth. Goddamn, what would you know? I don't think any of these actually have the depth I need. So that one looks like two. So this one has good depth, but I don't know if this is too thick. I want something. Don't need. That should actually be pretty perfect. Anything to run on, but it needs to be thick enough. Okay, so these are just very. And goddamn, would you know? I don't think any of these actually have the depth I need. So that one looks like two. So this one has good depth, but I don't know if this is too thick. I want something. Don't need. That should actually be pretty perfect. Anything to run on, but it needs to be thick enough. Okay, so these are very. And goddamn, would you know? I think next time we'll spend a lot of time working on the dust collection system I have here in the shop. Because I want to be a little bit better on the dust collection. Because I'm not really glad or happy with the system we got. I think next time we'll spend a lot of time working on the dust collection system I have here in the shop. Honestly, should I just like butt this up against that? Clamp it, call it good. Be a little bit better on the dust collection. Because I'm not really glad or happy with the system we got. I think next time we'll spend a lot of time working on the dust collection system I have here in the shop. Honestly, should I just like butt this up against that? Clamp it, call it good. Be a little bit better on the better idea. Because I'm not really glad or happy with the system we got. I think next time we'll spend a lot of time working on dust collection system. Honestly, right there. Put this up against that. Climb it, call it good. Better idea. Just set it to the edge of the hole on the straight edge. Take a look at our options. So we can route really close. And that would put us. Wow, that is. Take a look at our options. There we go. Yeah, that's flat. So we can. That puts that there, or route really close. You can move it out just a little bit. And that would put us. I think honestly, just running it square up against this is probably the best move. Up against this fence. I think that's the best idea here. So let's go ahead and hit that. Yeah, that's flat. So we can. That puts that there, or route really close. You can move it out just a little bit. And that would put us. I think honestly, just running it square up against this is probably the best move. Up against this fence. I think that's the best idea here. Plunge it down. Let's go ahead and hit that. Yeah, that's flat. Let's. That puts that there, or route really close. Move it out just a little bit. Mask on. I think honestly, just running it square up against this is probably the best
guess I did not have the experience.
Where'd that go?
I guess I did not have the experience. I have zero clue.
Where'd that go?
Oh, it hit the table. Oh no. I guess I did not have the experience. Oh, I have zero clue. That is hot. Oh, it hit the table. It was churning. Sadly, she was burning. Oh, zero clue. That is hot. Oh, it hit the table. It was churning. Sadly, she was burning. Zero clue. That is hot. Oh, it hit the table. It was churning. Sadly, she was burning. Square. Do the same thing on the other side. Kind of honestly, just eyeball it. You know. There we go. Square. Let's do the same thing. Be a little more methodical about how we do it this time. So, kind of honestly, just eyeball it. You know. Take our depth stop here. To the highest setting. Gonna go here. Lock that down. Be a little more methodical about how we do it this time. So, so that's our depth stop there. And then we can step it down. Depth stop here. Quarter each time. So, yeah, 3/4 step downs. Feed it a 1/4 inch at a time. Lock that down. That way we can avoid burning the bit like we just did. A little bit of an oopsie daisies if I'm being completely honest, but and then we can step it down. Such is life. 1/4 each time, so yeah, 3/4 step downs. Dust is on. Router's done. Let's take a look at what we got. So, this isn't our fence, but let's just kind of pretend it's like the fence base. So these fit in. Oh, perfect. Router's done. And fence will have to be for another time, I guess. We really need to grind down those bits over there. But fence is on here. Let's take a look at what we got. So we go as far as
this isn't our fence, but let's just kind of pretend it's like the fence.
Still
base.
plenty
So
stable.
Oh, perfect.
And we can clamp that down.
And fence will have to be.
I'll have to make an actual fence.
We really need to
That'll be, I
grind
guess,
down
an
those
issue
bits
for another
over there.
time.
But
Make an actual
is on
fence,
here.
and then
Look at what we got. So
we can slide it back and forth and use it as necessary whenever we want to route things.
Kind of pretend it's like
Might have to add
still
another
plenty stable.
leg to this one, honestly.
And we can clamp that down.
But
And fence will have to be.
I'll have to make an actual fence.
We really need to.
I think it's a pretty good
grind
stopping
down
point.
those over there.
But make an actual
is on
fence,
here.
and then
So
2 hours to make this piece of junk. Super useful piece of junk, but piece of junk nonetheless. So now we have a tool we can use. We still need to attach the router and the actual router holder to the bottom underneath here. That's, I guess, for next time. Might do that later this weekend.
2 hours to make this piece of junk.
But super solid start. Honestly, super happy with how this turned out. I do have some other projects that I need to kind of do, so we might
attach the router,
stream those as
and
well.
the
We might
actual
work on a
router,
little bit more as far as
holder to the bottom underneath.
that's, I guess, for next
how
time.
we're gonna
Might
do
that later
things.
this weekend. I would like to get a camera
2 hours to
kind of off from a higher angle, a general
super solid
overview of what's
start.
going on.
Honestly,
Then we have the
super,
actual,
super happy
you know,
with how
small
this turned
cam
out.
here that we can move around.
I do have some other
Things to
projects
consider
that
for
we can do, so we might
the next
router,
stream.
stream
But
those as well.
I'm
Might
pretty
work on a
happy
little
with
bit more
stopping
as far
here.
as
It's
holder to the
been,
bottom
damn,
underneath.
2 hours to
That's,
get to this
I guess,
point.
for next
How
time.
we're gonna
Might
do
do that later
things.
this weekend.
I would like to get a camera.
2 hours.
Kind
But
of good results so
off from a
far.
higher angle, a general overview of what's
Super,
going on. Then we have the actual.
super happy.
You know,
Hopefully we
small
can get that
cam
router
here that we
bench
can
done, and then we can move on
things
to
to
the
consider
next
for
project.
the next
But,
stream.
I'm pretty happy with. Thanks for
stopping
dropping by,
here.
y'all.
It's been, damn, 2
I'm
hours. to
gonna
get to
stop
this
here. I
point.
got some more
How
stuff
we're
to
gonna
do tonight.
things. I would like to get a camera.
See you later.
Kind
But
of
good results so
off from a
far.
higher angle, a general
Um,
overview of what's going on. Then we have the actual. You know,
Hopefully we
small
can get
cam
that
here
router
that we
bench
can
done, and then we can move on
things
to
to
the
consider
next
for
project.
the next
But,
stream. I'm pretty happy with.
Thanks for dropping by, y'all.
It's been, damn, 2 hours.
I'm gonna stop here. I got some more stuff to do tonight.
I would like to get a camera.
See you later.
But good results so far. Higher angle, a general overview of what's going on. Then we have the actual.
Hopefully we can get that router bench done, and then we can move on to the next project. But
I'm pretty happy with.
thanks for dropping by, y'all.
2 hours.
I'm gonna stop here. I got some more stuff to do tonight. See you later.
But good results so far.
Hopefully we can get that router bench done, and then we can move on to the next project. But thanks for dropping by.